Swing doors, huh? Okay, doors. Swing.
Crazies, y'all are in the lab. Lee here in the seat today, man. Y'all saw that title too as well. We are talking about psychedelic experiences, bad trips. Yes, bad trips of psychedelic experiences. Before we get this going, please understand this is for educational purposes. I do not condone in any of the use of any substances that might be able to harm and destroy you. Please remember also, if you decide to use any kind of psychedelic medicines, please remember to use them in a safe setting. Know your limits, know yourselves, do it with a friend, as well as know your trip killers. Also, with that said, at any time you like this, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your comments down below about your psychedelic experiences, about this one, those, and others you would love to talk about too as well. So let's get this going. Psychedelic experiences, bad trips. Now, trips can vary in all shapes and sizes, all different forms. Not every one person is not going to experience the same thing, the same experience in a psychedelic experience. With that too said as well, there are times where you can get a group of people, persons, 1, 2, 3, even myself has experienced this myself, where you can be on the same wavelength of the experience that that person is going and enjoy the ride that they're on too as well. It is just a different kind of connection. With that said as well, every psychedelic experience should always be categorized as an experience, as a lesson, and something to be taught and to take into a sword. Everybody has their own different lessons, their own different paths, their own different experiences, and what they're going through emotionally, spiritually themselves. With that said too, not all uncomfortable experiences are bad trips. In my sense, I don't believe in a bad trip in a sense of, if you're in a wrong setting, you put yourself in a whole bunch of group of shit that just shit pops off. I've had this experience myself where I was a group of friends. My first time ever tripping on acid was 16. And it was just one of those experiences where it turned all the way around. I didn't know my limit. I didn't respect the medicine. And it ended up being just one of those hellacious experiences in my entire life. And I never touched it until I was, damn near 35, 37, something like that, later in my 30s. With that said, I took that experience as a bad trip, but now as my lessons have gone through in the last six years, it wasn't a bad trip. It was a lesson. It was an experience, a lesson that I've learned and had to learn. Now, somebody knows out there knows what I'm talking about who does watch this channel. I remember that. But not all trips are bad trips. Bad trips could be categorized as an unsettling feeling. Something pops off, you go crazy, nothing, you think it's losing something. Your surroundings are what actually caused an unpleasant experience, a bad trip, if you would say. Now, they are those, like I said, the clubs and stuff, but every experience is a learning experience. An uncomfortable position, saying if you're going through kind of almost, you feel the pain, the vibe, maybe crying, it's emotional, whatever it is, you see some dark stuff of your past or whatever you're experiencing. I guess the comfortness could be considered a bad trip, but it's not a bad trip. It's an experience. It's a teaching lesson. Most people who who have a bad trip, there's one or two things in play. One, I said setting, but the second one is not being able to let go. And I know that sounds stupid at the sense of, you're already letting go on a psychedelic, but on another sense, it's not as easy as you think. Sometimes you can get on a path or a pattern and a wave that you are experiencing a dark moment, or the darkness within you, the light. It feels gloomy. It's gory sometimes, it can be a little eerie or scary. Ego deaths could be part of that too as well. And, when you stay hooked on a fantasy, even a loop, and you get stuck on that, you're not letting go of what you were just told, or you're not wanting to face what you have to face, because 9 times out of 10, and it's all a huge 9, maybe almost 10 times out of 10, you have to face that fear that you're fearing, that you're running away from, to be able to go past that trip, to past that part of the experience. And that's the key with unsettling experiences or bad trips. 9 times out of 10, people who experience bad trips are stuck on something that's on their mind, and they don't let go. They won't let go. They are stuck on whatever it is, I lost my girlfriend, or on the past, or some kind of trauma in the past that just clicks and gets you emotionally, and it clicks in your head, but you just can't let it go. It just keeps playing and playing and playing and playing. You just can't let that thought run around, and that's, staying on that kind of pattern is what you would kind of experience, a loop pattern and a bad experience. Now, the ways to kind of get out of that such of a bad experience, if you're going down that way, like I said, face it first off, look at it, face it face to face. Nothing can hurt you in that side of the world, in the real world, if you know what I mean. You have to face it. Next, if it still feels like you're a little more anxious and stuff, and you kind of just trembling and shaking, because it does happen, take yourself into a quiet area, a quiet room of the house. That's why I say do it in a safe setting. Know you're around surroundings. Go to a safe set of the house, your room, your bed, lay down, and just put some music on for a minute in the dark, and just close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. Breathe. Drink some water. Water always helps too. Sometimes it's just a refreshes your body, throws it into something else too as well. If it gets too intense, where the refrigerator's at. Milk. Milk does the body good, ladies and gentlemen. Milk is always a good one too as well. Milk helps subside your sense. It's just an anchoring in your mind, or something that's it's stone in our DNA, that milk is a soothing way, and it calms you down, it eases you down, and kind of just slows you down around and lets you kind of see what you're doing. Also remember that you did take a hallucinogen, a psychedelic drug that is mind altering and is going to make you face your worst fears, your insecurities, but as well as it's going to let you face your happiness, your greatness. It's going to teach you who you are, who you were, and what you are now. It's going to show you what it has to show you. That's what this medicine does. Respect it. Most time people who have bad trips, they don't respect the medicine, because it's, they take more than they should. Sometimes, medicine takes its time getting into your system. It doesn't hit as right as it sometimes, and 9 times out of 10, people like, I don't feel it, and you take a little bit more, and the second you get a little bit more, it hits you and rocks you in your body, and you don't know what to do. As well as good old freaking bad trips and uncomfortable trips. Remember, if you aren't experienced, and even if you are experienced, always have a contingency plan, know a number to call, have somebody, a friend to call to make sure they come over and check on you, as well as have a friend with you knew to as well, a sober friend if must be, but as well as experienced people too as well, so they can know the signs, and that know the signs of you having an uncomfortable experience within the realms of your journey. I don't want people to think that if you have an uncomfortable experience or a bad trip, so-called, don't put it down, or don't run away from, your progress if you are studying into these medicines, the sacred science, if you want to say, the knowledge in the air. Don't put it away if you have a bad experience, just understand what it is, and, kind of just study it a little bit. You'll download it. It'll come to you. One day you're like, oh, I get it now. It was just a lesson to learn. Just take it how it is and face your fears and face what's in front of you, because, it'll be so much easier than trying to run away from it and going back to it. Because every time, if you do these studies and it's stuck on your mind, that is what's on your mind. Even with DMT, for me, it's certain experiences are hard, they're rough, they're tough, they are painful sometimes. And, those, can shun people away from the trainings and the teachings that, the studies that you're doing. But let it go and just understand what it was and let it break through, because they let it go, it's going to get better. It's just going to, all the blossoms, all the clouds, the stars, the love of this medicine will come down to you as soon as you accept it and understand what you're doing. I love this because me, myself, I never thought I'd be learning and becoming a psychedelic shaman in an urban sense of this Western world. Studied for almost 6 years now, almost 600 trips, or actually 600 plus trips on mushrooms, LSD, and DMT. I never imagined the path where I was and where I'm at now, and the teachings of what I can teach and show people, because not many people jump down that rabbit hole that I've jumped down and that my path has shown. This is a wonderful medicine, not just for release of your inner demons or release of just anything. All your emotions sometimes just needs to be released and reset, let alone, like I say, your sermons say reset, PTSD, Alzheimer's, dementia, a lot of, even for me, I'm bipolar. I was considered bipolar, and now I haven't had an episode in 6 years, 7 years, and that's amazing for me. But that is what this medicine can do. Medicine can be great, man, and just happen. So bad experiences do happen. It's not considered a bad trip. It could be definitely an uncomfortable experience, but take it as a lesson to learn and look at it, absorb it, let it go, move forward. That is the key. And anytime you did learn anything of this educational of psychedelic experiences, bad trip, leave a good old thumbs up button, subscribe, leave those comments down below too as well. Let me know what you thought, your experiences too as well, because maybe I can help you out. And with that said, man, y'all remember to keep your mind open, because those eyes will see everything in front of you. Y'all stay crazy.
I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.